Hey, welcome back to the little black shade tree. Today we're going to make an easy, simple DIY end table or side table. We need one in our media room. Actually, we kind of need two. I'm hoping to make two today. So we'll see how much wood we have. I was able to come up with plenty of wood for at least one around property, so I was really excited about that. So I'm going to start cutting out my pieces. I measured it out. I like the even number of 2 feet by 2 feet and 2 feet tall, but it actually was just a tiny bit too big, so I'm going to suck it all in by 1 inch on every dimension. So we're actually going to go with the strange odd number of 23 inches by 23 inches by 23 inches, I believe. So I'm going to check my notes. The measurements are going to be in the description, so check them out and we'll get started. You probably can't see from here, but I've been tracing on the underside of my board where I want the legs, because I wanted to decide, do I want them all the way out here? Do I want them all the way in here? So I traced where I like them. That's 2.5 inches on each side. And I'm going to have the legs going like this. So I'm going to trace in one more leg, and then it'll all be marked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're good. So that's how they're gonna line up. And now I'm going to line it up and measure how long I need for the boards. The support boards on the inside go across here. Now I'm gonna make 4 smaller boards for 11.25 inches. If you haven't already seen our pocket hole joiner, these things are so useful. My husband loved it when he got it, and now I love it too. This one, this is a bigger one. They come with smaller ones too, but it creates a hole in the wood so you can get a screw right down in there and do a screw hold from here into a board here, like so, like this. So you don't have to go through this side, and you can get a nice smooth joint. Pocket hole joiners are the best. I love them. So all you have to do is take the side that you want, your bad side, the one that you want the hole in, and you're going to want to stick it right in here, like so. Clamp it. Get your drill bit. This is this Mongo drill bit, and screw it in. And now we've got 2 perfect holes for screws. And then we get a screw and we just screw it in, and it holds the joint really nice and flush, and it's really pretty. So that's how we're going to hold this whole end table together. Now to hook these together, to use these pocket holes, we're going to take our screw. We're going to switch out our big drill bit for this bit, and it needs to be extra long because it needs to be able to fit through the hole. So I'm going to show you how these things go together. our base is all done. It worked out really well. Now I do need to have some pocket holes going up from here so that we can screw down our top. So I should have put in those holes before I put all this together, but that's okay. I'm gonna put them in now, and then we'll be ready to put down our boards right here, and then we'll pre-stain, stain, put on the top, well, stain the top, and polyurethane. So this is coming together really good. It is crazy hot in here. It is the very beginning of June, and it is sweltering outside. It's been in the high 90s, and we'll move on from there. Is all done as far as construction, so I'm excited to do my favorite part, which is the staining. We're going to start with the pre-stain. Remember, pre-stain is very important, otherwise the stain is going to be blotchy and ultra dark and just crazy dark and blotchy. So you need your pre-stain. We're going to get that on. It only needs to soak in for about 5 minutes and then wipe it off. And then stain it and let it dry for a little bit. I might do a little bit of extra sanding. One of the things that I found that really makes furniture look different than if you just chopped it up out of a piece of plywood is the sanding. Make sure you sand it. I paid particularly close attention to the edges and the corners, and I hope you can hear me, but it's raining outside and this is a metal roof here in this workshop, so I hope you can hear me. I don't have my lapel mic, so I'm going to start pre-staining and staining. All right, our side table is all ready for the polyurethane, so I'm really excited about that. Now, a couple of things I want to note. I did find a couple scratches up here after, I knew that they were there before, and then I stained it, and then you could really see the scratches. That's the way the board came. So please make sure that you sand out the scratches before staining. It's so much harder to sand them out after staining. It gums up the sandpaper. So I went ahead and sanded it and restained it, and it looks great. So I was able to fix it, but just for note, make sure that you sand out any scratches before you stain it. It looks really good. This part right here was starting to, when I put it down, when I screwed it on, it bowed up just a little bit. So I went ahead and went back in and put in a few more pocket holes along here, and I was able to really ground that down. But it fits really, really well. I love it. So I am going to do the polyurethane from here down first. I'm going to turn it over and polyurethane it there first, because once I get the polyurethane up here on the top, I don't want any situations where I need to flip it over and work on the bottom, because I just don't want to take the risk of making imprints and indents and whatever is going to go on up here, because I don't want this to sit for 2 weeks waiting to make sure it cures. I want to make sure that this is all done so that this does not get flipped over after I get that polyurethane on, because this is where I want it to be the most flat. And another thing to note, several thin coats of polyurethane is a lot better than 1 or 2 thick coats. So make sure that they're thin and you're not piling it on in there. So we're going to get this covered, and then once it cures, it's going to be all ready to go. So let's get started. Table is all done. I love it. I hope you do too. I surprised it for my husband for our media room. We just got a new projector, which we love, and we're kind of redoing some things in there. So he loved the end table so much that he said it'd be nice to have another one on the other side of our couch, which we kind of do need. So I'm in the process of making a second table, and it's going by pretty quick since I've already made one, and you'd be surprised at how fast you can make something when you're not trying to videotape it. I have confidence that it's going to last a really long time, so go ahead and give this project a try. I'm sure that you could always use something beautiful and rustic in your home. You could even use this basic pattern for a coffee table and just make it a little shorter, a little longer, whatever you like. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.